I have a hot take. Like, I think pasta sucks. Like, I genuinely do not like pasta.
But why?
It's so bad. Like, the pasta itself has no taste.
What about fast food places? Like, so what's the fast food tier list that you guys think?
For me, Mac is right at the bottom.
Right.
Really? Why is that?
Like I think like serving size is tiny, prices have gone up. Flavor wise, I feel I can get the burgers are better at Hungry Jack's. I'm not gonna lie, and they're better.
Guys, my name's Niranjan.
My name's Janette.
And I'm Dheeraj.
And together we're
Three Peas in a podcast.
Okay, so thank you everyone for joining us on our very, very first episode of the podcast, 3 Peas in a Podcast. And we do have a topic that we're going to talk about today. But just before that, I just wanted to do the awkward college icebreakers that I'm sure everybody has had to do at the start of a semester and the start of new classes. Do you guys hate the icebreakers as much as like everybody online? Or do you guys not mind doing that icebreaker at the start of every class?
What do you think?
I don't mind it. Like, sometimes it's, like, uncomfortable, but I feel like you need it. And especially when it's, like, in a class, there's, like, I've had, like, some classes where you never do an icebreaker, so you don't even know, like, the names of the people around you, especially if they're not talkative. And then you end up just going, like, a whole semester, a whole term without knowing anyone. So I kind of don't mind it. I think it's at least nice to, like, know, like, the names of people in the room. Yeah.
Very fair. I think icebreakers with like names and stuff, it's cool. I think when it gets to those questions, I feel like everyone should just have prepared answers at this point.
Yeah.
But no one ever does, and it's just people like, I have cat.
Wait, what questions do you get?
Like it's normally the like
Fun fact,
the
right?
fun fact,
Yeah.
two truths and a lie, something like that.
Yeah. I actually don't like the two truths and a lie or two
Oh,
lies
yeah.
and a truth
I
thing
feel like my
because-
life's so boring.
Yeah, and like I get confused. I'm like, wait, which one's the lie? Which one did I make up? And I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I was supposed to make more than one? Like, yeah.
Do you guys have, like, go-to fun facts about yourselves?
I do, yeah.
Oh, what's yours?
Yeah, I have one. I've used this so many times.
Yeah.
Where it was like, when I was really young,
Yeah.
I tried to get my dad to change my name to Pikachu.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like I was actually like serious about it for a solid like one day. I was just like, so what happened was I was trying to change my name to something, but I didn't know what name I was going to change to. And when I asked my dad, I was like, can I change my name? He was just like, yeah, what do you want it to change to? So I didn't expect to get that far. I was just like, I thought I'd have some pushback that I need
at
to
that point,
argue
right? Yeah.
against, right? So
How old were you?
this is very young. Like I was in year 2, year 1, like.
Ambitious kid.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, I know.
And my dad asked me like on the spot. He's like, "Okay, what name do you want?" And like I was like, "Pikachu." I don't know.
What else is going on?
He kind of just laughed at me. He's just like, "What the fuck?" And what happened was like after that, I was like, "Wait, maybe I should have picked like a cooler Pokemon. Like maybe I should be a Dialga instead of like Pikachu or something."
Yeah.
So
Be a Charmander.
Be a Charmander. No.
Dragonite.
Dragonite. Yeah, you gotta be.
You lost me there. That's
you
all
gotta
I
be
know.
one of like the legendaries, dude. You gotta
Yeah.
be like Arceus or something. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's the fun fact I go to. That I was almost a Pikachu. Yeah.
That's very cool.
Do you have a
What's
fun
yours?
fact that you normally go to? Oh, yeah. You go first.
No, you first. I feel like we're not boring. Like, it's, yeah.
I guess like fun fact that I normally use in two truths and a lie as well is that like one of them I use a lot is like I rescued like my cat from like a building, so it was like that's a bit of a story, but then yeah, it's a bit of a convoluted story, so it works with both. So because people are like, oh, did you actually like go up to like a random house and just get a random kitten and then bring it back home? I think it's a fun fact because it's a cute little story.
And then next one is, like, one story for...
Just one
like,
story. It's just one level house and that's it.
Yeah. How, like, was your cat, like, stuck or he just, like, ran away or, like,
Oh,
what?
so like it was like so. This is when I was working as a real estate agent.
Yeah.
And then so
You're
like
in real estate? Wow.
yeah.
Okay, cool.
So then we went up to like this house. So it was like my principal's tenant.
Yeah.
He left the place in a terrible condition and then he dipped. So then we just had to go like take pictures and show the damages whatnot. And then like the cigarette butts everywhere. The door to the balcony is locked and I'm like, what the heck's going on here? So I go outside. There's cigarette butts all over the floor and I just see it like shriveled in the corner. It's just one little kitten. And he left like a couple days ago, so she was just there, just like carrying there for like days, no food or anything.
Yeah.
My sister had a cat at that point, and then she knew foster people, so I called her up. I was like, "Can I bring this kitten home?" And then like you just give it to someone else. So then, me and my colleague we went, and then that became like that took up the whole day. It was like 3 hours because she was like 6 weeks old. She's tiny. She's terrified.
Right.
And then we're trying to like get her in like a cat cage to bring her back to my house, and that became a whole debacle. Managed to somehow get her through with a few scratches and whatnot. Bring her back to my house, and my sister's like, it's like, she's cute, we're keeping her. And then she just got attached to like me and my mom, and it's cute. And now we just had her for like over a year now. Yeah.
So for some reason I was like envisioning like cats stuck on like the outside of a building or something, not like in a room.
Yeah. Oh.
I was like, wow, that's so heroic. You were like doing some like fireman stuff, like.
Dude, yes.
Oh, that's cool. That's so interesting. You're doing like real estate stuff. Damn. All right, we gotta unpack that another time. Have you watched Selling Sunset?
No, I've had so much fun. Every time I like say I did real estate, everyone's like, bro, have you watched Selling Sunset?
Lux listings?
Yeah. I'm like, no.
Oh my god, dude, you could be, what's his name in Lux Listings? Like, the short guy.
He's like the tallest
he's
one
actually,
out of the three of us.
No, but he's actually known,
He's a
like,
short guy.
Gavin Andrews. No, that's not. That's from Suits.
Yeah.
No.
Random white name.
Random white name,
I can't remember. I'm going to stop saying names. Oh, that's really cool. Very nice. My fun fact is, I need a cool one.
You do have one. You see, this is the thing. You think people would have a prepared answer by this. Like, Jeanette's gone through.
Yeah, but like I'm trying to think like which one is like the best suited. Like, do you ever have like sometimes like depending on what people say, you're like, you don't want to seem like you're like flexing too hard on a fun fact or like.
Oh, she's flexing
No.
Oh, damn.
How do I flex?
No, but it's like it depends on like the nature of what they're
I
saying,
get you,
right?
yeah. If it's like casual, you don't want to like bring something
Yeah,
random.
I don't. Yeah.
Jeanette
Okay.
just has one fun fact. He's like,
No. Mine would be, I think a cool fun fact of mine is I performed live on the radio when I was like 5.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
Very cute.
Yeah, I was like, I performed piano. So I didn't like sing or anything, nothing like that. But I was like the youngest performer at the time on Classic FM.
Damn. Big ups, bro.
yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
Wait, did you perform at the Opera House as well, or am I just?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Because I remember on a road trip we did the thing, but it was like all the icebreakers were like written down on a piece of paper,
Oh, yeah.
and
Oh,
nobody
yeah, that was
knew
fun, yeah.
whose was whose.
Oh,
Right?
you'd like to just point
Yeah.
out which
So
one
we
you
just
think.
like we would read it and then guess who it was, and like we came across the musical one.
I was like, I sung choir like
Yeah,
at the Opera
yeah.
House or something. Yeah.
And it was like, it was something with the Opera House, and
Yeah.
I remember like I was like, somebody said that could be Jeanette, and I'm like, nah, Jeanette doesn't have the musical talent for that.
Oh, shit.
And then like it was her, and I'm just like, oh.
No, that one wasn't me. That actually wasn't
yeah.
me. Yeah.
Right.
But that's always interesting. When you,
Was that a
like,
solo
go-
performance?
I've solo performed and done like group performances. Yeah.
Very
It was a really cool experience. Yeah.
She's out here bowling.
Bowling, bro. What about you?
Alright.
Any musical instruments?
Musical instruments? No, I played guitar when I was really young.
His
but
voice.
His voice. Yeah.
My voice is just my instrument.
I like that. Alright.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, when I was young, I did play guitar for a little bit because I was like interested in it. But if I was going to guitar classes, it meant that I couldn't like hang out with my friends at the time. So I was just like, what? That's not an ideal
the-
trade-off.
yeah.
Like, this is the worst trade deal in the history of trade deals. So I was like, no, I'm not doing that. So I quit guitar. And then in primary school, when I came to Australia, I would play like these like African drums type thing, and I still have them at home, but I haven't played them in ages.
Wait, not bongos? Like
No,
steel
not
drums?
bongos. No. It's
Okay.
like I guess I'll show you later.
Yeah.
but-
Yeah, we'll have to have an episode where you do
Yeah,
like
just
whip it out,
everyone performs like a skill or talent.
I like that. I like that.
You guys have probably actually seen it. It's in a lot of Australian like primary schools, high schools. It's the drums where you're like sitting and it's in between your legs and you kind of
It's like a tabla.
very similar to a tabla.
I think
but
I know what
it's
you're talking
not-
about. Yeah.
It's like in between the legs.
Yeah.
Tabla's like to the
Oh,
side,
okay.
right?
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I played that, but
It's a
other
fun
than
instrument.
that, yeah. Other than
We'll
that,
be your backup recorder in triangle.
Dude, yes.
Triangle,
I'll be working
yeah.
my triangle. Like, not trying to flex or anything. Yeah.
You know, it's hard to get that like in time. You
In
know.
time.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
The pressure for that is like you miss that off key. You're just like, oh,
Dude, it's like whiplash. Like, are you rushing or are you on my time? You know what I mean? Crazy.
yeah. Oh god.
That's so cool. But yeah, I like overall icebreakers. Like I think it's good, right? Like even for us, like icebreakers, and we like talk about so many other topics, and we like get into other things. But you know what else is great? I feel like for like bonding and getting to know other people, food.
Food.
Yeah.
Actually, I had a thought recently that does everybody think that their mum's cooking is the best? Is that the case?
Not trying to put my mom on the spot.
Yeah.
I like my cooking more than my mom's.
Really?
Yeah.
Ah. Wait, what do you
need
cook
to
though?
improve, bro.
Yeah, like what do you cook versus like what does your mom cook?
Because my mom normally just cooks like my like traditional Indian food, like South Indian food.
Right.
Right.
She's an amazing chef, like
Yeah.
top notch. I guess.
Yeah, she's watching.
She's just at home.
You're the best. You're the best. I love you.
Yeah.
He's not getting dinner tonight.
But I guess I've been cooking for myself for a long time. So then, like, obviously it's catered more to my palate. And then I can cook, like, a diversity of stuff, like a wide range, rather than, like, the same cuisine over and over again.
Right.
So I guess that's why. Yeah.
Yeah, no, like, what sort of led you to, like, cooking yourself a lot?
Oh, because, like, my parents were always out working and whatnot. So
Yeah.
I was just, like, at home, I was like, I need to eat. Let me cook some. I'll cook some shit up. Yeah,
What's-
that's pretty much right.
He's just watching MasterChef at home. He's like, I can do that.
I can light
Yeah.
work, baby. Bro.
Yeah, lightweight. Gordon
What's
Ramsay?
your what's your go-to, like, to cook?
It kind of goes in phases. So like recently, I've been on like a pasta thing where
Yeah.
I just think different kinds of pasta sauce, just like getting all that done.
Yeah.
Making fresh pasta was really cool.
Oh, do you have, like, a pasta maker, or
Nah,
do
I
you just,
do
like,
by
knead it
hand.
out?
Yeah.
Nice.
Work that in half.
I actually
Yeah.
have a hot take. Like,
Mm.
I think pasta sucks. Like, I genuinely do not like pasta.
But why?
It's so bad. Like, the pasta itself has no taste to me. Like, it is just the taste of the sauce.
Yeah.
And, you know, people describe pasta as like, oh, this pasta is too dry, it doesn't have enough sauce. And that's just like showing that the pasta itself does not have taste to it, because you need the sauce with it.
Yeah,
And
but what
it's
about, like, noodles?
Yeah, so noodles, like spaghetti is for me like on the borderline of like good or bad, right?
Yeah.
And I think I'm on the line of it being bad because it's different from like Asian noodles like ramen or mee goreng and stuff, because the noodles are made differently and they hold flavor a lot differently, because I think ramen is like frozen or
That's
something.
interesting.
The actual preparation method is slightly different so that it holds the flavor and texture of the dish differently than pasta does. And I also think I just don't like a lot of the flavor profiles that pasta tends to favor towards, because a lot of it is like seafood based, and I don't like fishy tastes.
I feel like pastas are more like, it's like tomato base,
Yeah.
cream base, or you get like a mix, like pink sauce base,
Yeah.
or it's like pesto.
Seafood I do get, but like that's not really a major thing. Like I've seen a lot of restaurants, but that's
Yeah.
tomato based.
Yeah.
And then yeah.
Right. Oh yeah. I also don't like tomatoes that much.
See now the flavor from
Yeah.
the mix it.
Yeah. Like tomatoes are weird. There are certain tomatoes that I do really like. I don't know what they're called, but they're like yellow.
Okay.
And they're a bit more sweet than the usual
Okay.
tomato. Is it tomato or tomato? What do you guys say?
I say
Tomato.
Because we're Australian. We say
Yeah,
tomato.
tomato,
Tomato, potato. No. It's
potato,
tomato. It's tomato. It's
potato,
tomato.
potato.
It's tomato.
It's tomato.
No, it's
So-
tomato. Oh, definitely tomato.
Yeah. So
Tomato.
tomato.
Sounds
Yeah.
weird, yeah.
Is that US or British? Tomatoes.
That sounds Australian. Now that you said
sounds-
it,
it
that
sounds
sounds so
Australian,
Australian
yeah.
now that you said it.
We're
Yeah,
Australian.
I don't know
Like,
now.
come on.
You're like confusing ourselves.
No, it's tomato, because like it can't be tomato, because then it's not
Plural,
potato.
then.
Tomatoes.
It still sounds
Tomatoes.
weird.
Tomatoes just flows easier.
Tomato.
Tomatoes, yeah.
Tomato.
No, because you're like you have two peaks if you say tomato.
Yeah.
That's two peaks, whereas tomato, it's one peak followed by the trough. It's
Tomato. But it means how you say it. It's like tomatoes just sounds like one peak as well.
yeah. Tomato is one peak.
Yeah.
Tomato is two peaks.
Yeah, so tomatoes worse then.
I feel like this is
Oh,
like
wait.
one brain cell.
Bro, we're trying to do two brain cells.
all the listeners being like, do they just go on like a 5-minute tangent on like
Just
tomato or tomatoes?
Tomato. Okay. Either way. Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna find them.
Yeah.
We'll find some other
yeah, put that in the backseat for now.
Yeah.
Yeah, tomato is like, I don't really like it that much, especially in like burgers and things. I don't get tomato. I ask for no
Really?
tomato,
Oh, do you
But I
think the
feel like
texture's
it-
off?
yeah, the texture's off. It's just like all liquidy and stuff.
Do you know why? I think it's like there's like a difference. Like I think some people have had too many like overripe tomatoes, so that like because that texture it gets like
Squelchy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas if you have like a very like just ripe but still crisp, crunchy tomato, that in a burger is like really nice. I feel like it adds like a bit of like freshness.
I get
Yeah,
It's
I
like
really don't
cucumbers
see
as
that.
well. If it's overripe and it's kind of got
It's
that
very
like
chapped,
watery,
yeah.
like
Yeah, but like
mushy texture.
even like cucumber, like I wouldn't add cucumber to a
But, like,
burger
banh mi.
still. Huh?
Banh mi.
Banh mi.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't eat banh mi's like
Oh,
regular. I don't eat it
okay.
regularly.
Fair,
I
fair,
think
fair.
I've had it like once in my life. Or something.
I feel
Oh,
like
okay, fair.
cucumber, probably not with like a beef patty, but if it's like a chicken burger, sometimes I feel like if you add like
Cucumber.
cucumber, yeah.
Like if you think about like a more like Asian inspired burger,
Right.
it's like cucumber with that.
Yeah.
But like if you think right, pickles in a burger, like pickle is
it's
like
cucumber, yeah.
yeah, that's
But
cucumber.
yeah, but then it's like it has then been pickled, so it's like more salty more.
Maybe we should try
tangy.
pickled tomatoes for you.
Pickled tomatoes.
I went
that
to
a
a
thing?
restaurant the other week. I had a pickled grape. Changed my life. It was the
Ooh,
best thing I've ever
interesting.
had.
Is that
Was
not a
that
raisin?
savory?
That's a dried grape.
Yeah,
Wait, was that like
yeah.
savory or sweet or like combo?
It was a bit of it. So it was like
Combination.
a charcuterie board pretty much with
Yeah.
a bunch of cheeses and everything.
Yeah.
And then the pickles were, it was like cauliflower, carrot,
Yeah.
some beans, some olives, like the usual. And then the grapes there. And it was like, I guess like the perfect mixture of everything. It's like tangy, sweet, savory, acidic, like everything's a little bit spicy, like everything you can think of.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned
That's so good.
pickled tomatoes because like the charcuterie boards, I actually do like
Sun-dried
sun-dried
tomatoes.
Sun-dried tomatoes
Because they don't have
so
the texture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. So you like the raisins of tomatoes?
The raisins of tomatoes.
I like the raisins of tomatoes.
Oh,
Exactly.
but you know, bring up like the grapes. So like, let's talk about like some like food trends that we've seen lately. Cause I feel, have you guys seen on TikTok? There's so much. It's just like the frozen
With some lime in it?
roll-ups with
frozen roll-ups. No.
frozen roll-ups with ice cream. And now people are chucking like frozen grapes into that mix too.
Oh.
I want to try it. I feel like because roll-ups is like everyone's childhood, but everyone's like reliving it now. But then apparently like Australian roll-ups versus like American roll-ups are different. Like the sugar content is different.
Oh, right.
So like with a lot of the American ones, if you just get the roll-up, you put it out, put some ice cream in, and you roll it up, it'll just leave it for a bit, and then the outside of the roll-up will be like crunchy because it's like frozen a bit. Like the coldness spreads from the ice cream to the roll-up.
Right.
But apparently the Australian ones, you actually have to freeze it a bit. Like the roll-ups, I think there's not enough like, not as sugar, like the sugar content is like different. So you got to freeze it a bit.
Okay.
We should try that
We should,
sometime.
definitely.
Surprise, surprise! America has more sugar. It's like
Yeah.
wow, who would have
Who'da guessed it?
Who would have guessed?
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, we're the second most obese country in the world.
Yeah.
So like,
We're
it's
not
like
that
1 and 2
far
fighting
behind,
about it.
Yeah. What are the food trends do you guys rate or not rate?
Oh, like speaking of grapes, there was like you freeze grapes and then you put like lime juice on them and it tastes like Sour Patch Kids.
Oh,
That was pretty
I've
good.
seen. I want to try that.
Yeah.
There's so many candied grapes going around now, like where people put like nerds like on them, like they coat it with like
yeah.
you know how you have like I don't know if it's like the origin like Chinese, that you have like tong hulu, which is like
Yeah, yeah.
sugar candy
Yeah,
like
and it's, like, hard on the
fruits,
outside.
yeah.
Yeah.
And now people are doing it with like grapes, and then outside of it, once you put the sugar on, they're rolling like nerds onto it or like other sour things on it, and it's like a.
Fusion right there. Cultural
Yeah.
fusion, I like
Right
that.
there,
I want to try that. That sounds
Yeah.
good.
What are some foods that you guys like crave very often? What do you crave?
I think sushi for me. Just it's like a nice mix of like freshness and a bit of like highness. You get the meat in there as well. I don't know. Yeah, like that's I think the one I crave the most, and then probably some fried chicken as well.
Fried chicken?
Classic, bit of comfort.
Yeah.
Mine, I don't know why. I feel like this year particularly, I've had like a lot of cravings for like Korean food and like spicy food. But my spice tolerance is not the best. But for some reason this year, like I just really wanted like spicy food, and Korean food as well. I feel like I crave it because like there's such like comfort food.
Yeah.
It's like very hearty, soulful food. Like, and I think it's probably because it's not something like I eat all the time or like have at home. So like you
Yeah.
crave what you don't always have. But yeah.
Yeah, that's like similar with me as well. Like Korean fried chicken is like the one dish I'm craving all the time. Like I'm always down for Korean fried chicken.
Korean fried chicken or KFC? What do you go for?
Ooh,
The only one left. The other one's cancelled out. Existence forever.
Yeah.
Oh, Gone Forever. I have to say I'd probably sacrifice KFC then.
Okay.
Because there's more variety with like Korean fried chicken, right?
Yeah, Korean fried chicken, you get the different
Yeah.
flavors, you get the different like sauces and stuff with it. But
'Cause-
one thing I don't
yeah.
want to give up from KFC is like the fact that you can get burgers there. It's like the Zinger Stacker is like Aussie pride. Right?
Always. It's an Australian thing.
I believe. Yeah,
Is
I
it
don't
not?
think it's. I don't know if Australia like invented it or not, but it's like one of the most popular things in
Yeah,
Australia.
for sure. Yeah.
Well, we've
I've
talked about it
adopted
before. I've never had a Zinger box before.
Oh.
Is that like un-Australian?
I think so.
Yeah,
It's pretty
I think you just
un-Australian.
lost your citizenship. Like you might want to
Just-
double
yeah.
check. Like
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's someone knocking on the door
Yeah,
right now.
someone's
Yeah.
You know, like I never even had a wicked wing until I was like, I swear, like 18.
18.
Damn.
Yeah.
What'd you
Because I
eat
used to,
before?
well,
Yeah,
like
what-
KFC, like anytime when I used to go before, like I didn't eat it like all the time, right? But I'd always get like the twister wraps
Oh, they
from
are
KFC ones.
oh,
Those
yeah.
are good.
Yeah.
But just, I don't know, like I never really like knew wicked wings was like a big thing or like just tried it. Like it was just one of those things I just like didn't know about it, so I didn't try it.
Fair.
Right.
But now it's like, sometimes you just crave like the wicked
Yeah, the
wings.
wicked
Yeah.
wings like go hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like you not having wicked wings to 18 like reminds me of my friend, and she was working at McDonald's like retail, the corporate side, sorry, and she didn't know what a Big Mac looked like. She had like
Really?
never seen a Big Mac, or she'd never eaten a Macca's burger. And I'm just like,
How'd
how
you
do
get
you
the
go?
job?
Yeah, she
Wait.
was like 21 at this. So
Yeah.
I'm like, how do you go 21 years
Yeah.
without ever seeing what a Big Mac looks like, ever getting a burger from McDonald's?
Yeah.
Because
That's
like,
crazy.
just the picture of a Big Mac is everywhere.
Everywhere,
You
yeah,
just
like
walk around, it's
billboards,
somewhere
like,
there,
what
yeah.
do
Yeah.
you do? Like, she's just like not looking at the billboards.
No, I'm confused
Yeah.
how she even got the job. Like, I'm sure, like, if you got an interview, like, she had to be like, I love Macca's. Like, growing up, like, I ate Macca's. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know how else you get the job.
Yeah, oh
Yeah.
god.
Okay. But you know, I had like a friend, she had never had like it was either Coke or like any soft drink until year 7 or 8.
Right.
Damn.
Actually,
Yeah.
that I don't think is that surprising because a lot of parents don't
Drinks,
let their
right.
kids have soft drinks.
Yeah.
Even like some of my cousins, or when I go to India and like we'd have family friends over, and I'm like pouring myself a Coke, and then I like ask if like the kid wants Coke, and then the mum comes in and is like, she doesn't drink soft drinks. I'm like,
So corrupting my
Wow.
child.
I'm like,
But you know, that's the thing though, like when you're really young, when babies, right? Like when you're a baby, you're supposed to eat like unflavored food.
right.
Just mush.
Like no salt, no sugar in it. It's just like whatever like the food is. Because an actual ingredient, it does have taste, but I feel like over time we've all been like so used to like salt, sugar, all that added into it.
Yeah.
As a baby, you're not like, you shouldn't add salt, sugar into anything. And I think it helps for when they're like growing up, they're not as fussy eaters because
Right.
not everything is flavored with a lot of things. And that's why also like young kids, they really love like lollies, ice cream, all that, because it's like flavored to a certain way. And it's like if you introduce that so early on and then you introduce like a really plain vegetable, they won't want it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, like again, but I think that's like toddlers that you give it.
Yeah.
I'm not like cheersing
Yeah.
a toddler with like Coke, dude. Like,
well, yeah.
I mean, it's dangerous. It's a
But-
slippery slope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But with you guys, were you guys ever like restricted on like foods or like anything when you guys were younger or growing up?
Not really. I think, yeah, because I got to cook whatever the hell I want. And just, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me it was like kind of the opposite, where it was like I just like had to eat whatever was available for dinner. Like I wasn't allowed to get my own thing or
Yeah.
ask for something else to be made specifically for me. I just had to eat what's on the plate. So it's like, yeah. So I guess like in that sense, I'm not fussy with what I eat. I will still eat whatever is there.
Yeah.
But I will complain about it. I'll be like, I don't like this. Like, what the hell is this? Why you
Yeah,
eat
yeah,
it? I will complain about it, but at the end of the day, I'll still eat it. And do you guys have an order that you eat food in? Because like when I look at a plate of food that I have, like I already know what I'm eating.
Best
first,
to
what I'm
last
eating
or
last.
like best first?
Best last.
Best last? Yeah.
Last bite,
has
best
to
bite.
be last.
Yeah.
Like,
Interesting.
But do you like best bite, first bite?
I feel like I like depends what it is, because sometimes like I'll mix it in, but then because like if you get through all the bad stuff first, you're kind of already like full by the time you want like the good
I
stuff.
like the mixing in thing. Like,
Yeah,
just a
but
bit of
then the
mixture.
last bite I'll leave like the good
Yeah,
stuff.
the last bite has to be the
but
fun. Yeah.
I was saying this to a friend of mine as well, where I was like, oh, I leave the best bite till the end and like
Yeah.
all my favorite stuff for the end. And then like something she said was like that's a very only child trait that I'm leaving it to the end because since she had an older brother growing up, she was like, oh, like if I left the best stuff on the plate, like my older brother's stealing it by the time I get to eating it.
I've heard that.
So
before.
she kind of started
Yeah.
eating it at the start, so that her brother couldn't steal it.
Okay. Yeah.
So is that very only child traits? Do you
I
reckon?
think I think that might be a younger sister thing rather than like a young sister would have to deal with her older brother stealing food. Like my older sister never took food from me.
Right, yeah.
I was the one taking food either way.
Yeah.
So
Well,
like
if you had an older brother, I think
I think he'll take the food.
Yeah.
I think just having an older brother kind of does that to
Your
you.
older brother just
Yeah.
traumatized.
Little bastards, bro. Yeah, yeah.
It's just brothers in general.
Yeah, just brothers are terrible. They're the worst. God.
Yeah, they're the worst.
Yeah. That's interesting. I can see that though, because it's like when people have siblings, like it's like the feeling that you have to like split something or share something, and
Yeah.
it's like, oh, like you want yours first. But it was interesting what you mentioned about growing up, like you just eat like what's provided, like what your parents have cooked. I feel like that's really typical of like Asian households, right? Like
Yeah.
I feel like there is that difference in like Eastern Western culture, where it's like in Eastern or Asian households, you kind of it's a lot more like family, like
Yeah.
family style of like sharing, eating, all of that, right?
Yeah, and then like it was weird because like all of my cousins, some of them are like very picky eaters as well, so they won't eat. And then I'd be at their house and like I'm just eating whatever, right?
Yeah.
And then they're like, no, I don't want to eat this. I don't want that. Like, can you just make this? And then like their mum's like, look at it. look at him. And
What
I'm
a good
like, I'm
boy,
sorry, bro. Like, please don't drag me into this.
Ranjan's a perfect child. Look at him eating
Yeah.
everything.
I'm like, I'm
That's
sorry.
so big and strong now. Look at him now.
I was like, I'm just there like, what?
Like,
Are you guys allergic to anything?
no. Yeah.
Yeah, not that
No?
I'm aware of, no.
Are you?
Alright, no.
Good.
Yeah.
We can
What-
do anything then.
Yeah, it's,
Yeah.
yeah. We
Wait,
just,
what is the weirdest
Yeah.
food that you guys have had?
Weirdest.
Yeah, what do you think?
I'm gonna get cancelled. No.
Like, you know,
no,
like, those curries? Ooh, like,
Yeah.
ooh.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I'm on the racist street.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry about that.
You're
Yeah.
right.
Weirdest or like
I
I've
mean,
had
exotic. Let's say exotic.
Yeah,
'cause our
exotic,
culture's
yeah.
using it in other ways.
I've two things. One is shark fin soup. I think that's like common in like Chinese
Yeah,
like
Controversial. But
Yeah, it's
yeah,
controversial,
Russians
yeah.
and stuff. I feel like now they don't really do that. Or like I haven't had that like more recently. I like as a kid
Yeah.
probably had that. I feel like in Australia you don't really have that like in Chinese restaurants. It's more like in
Yeah.
China or Asia.
It's very rare to get them in restaurants in
Yeah.
Australia.
Yeah.
It's illegal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something else exotic. I don't know if you consider it that exotic. Frog.
Oh.
But frog actually tastes so when it's like stir fried. Like the meat, it's really tender and it's like chicken.
Yeah, it tastes like
It's
chicken.
like-
Yeah, it's actually really good. But also as well, like I've had it primarily I think in like China, but
Okay, right.
or like I know a lot more like Asian countries like do frog, but it's not just like they're like out in the pond catching like frogs.
farmed,
They
like,
actually like
farm,
farm like
yeah.
frogs, yeah. So not a high chance of like catching a disease or like whatever. Yeah.
No, but like if you eat a frog from like the wilderness, you can get high. So it is a bonus. You know,
But it's like
get high.
I was like, oh, I
What
want the
kind?
toad instead.
Yeah.
That cane toad looking real good.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
what about you?
I actually don't think I've eaten anything that
Exotic. Yeah.
or really weird. Like, because I'm.
You have a
not-
very basic flavor taste profile, I feel. Doesn't
No,
like
I
pasta.
Just, I
like,
just know what I like. It's like, yeah, and like for a long time I wasn't really into seafood that much either because, like I said, I don't like the fish taste. So,
and the texture.
yeah,
or-
like a lot of textures
Oh,
of fish
okay.
as well,
Yeah.
especially if it's like very like.
Let's
I
go
can't-
get
yeah, it's
let's
like
go
very
get
s-
oysters.
Oh,
Like yeah, the
Do you like-
texture
have
of
you had
oysters.
oysters?
I've never had oysters.
Oh,
No.
do we have to then?
Yeah,
Yeah, you're gonna hate
So,
it. Yeah, go on.
like I even
Trying the
had-
first oyster on this podcast.
on the podcast,
Yes.
of course.
You're
Yeah.
gonna hear gagging.
Oh, no, like, oh god, like how I actually think it's made out, you want to suck it down and it's gonna come straight back up.
Yeah,
Oh my
we should do
God.
like an ASMR like eating, trying
It's just
like.
not-
Yeah.
We'll be here with like the frozen grapes and like the
Yes,
candy
yeah.
grapes
And
and
you
there's
just oysters and you get live octopus. You can just eat that.
Live octopus.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Octopus is
I
actually
wanna
probably the
try it.
craziest
Yeah.
thing I've had, and I had it with Janette for the first time, and it was like baby octopus, right? So
Yeah.
you can see the entire thing. And as we're eating this, I'm literally looking at it and I'm like apologizing to the octopus. I'm like, I'm sorry, little one.
I'm so sorry.
Because octopi are the most intelligent animals out there as well. Like they
Yeah.
can
Really?
create
One of the most,
connections.
yeah.
They can
Oh,
they solve
I did not know
complex
that.
puzzles.
Puzzles, yeah.
Yeah, like there's like this video of like this guy. He saved this octopus from like that was like beached up from the ocean, and then he like puts it back in the ocean, and the octopus gives him a hug,
Oh wow.
and then just goes off back into the ocean.
That's
That's so
cute.
interesting.
That is
But it tastes good.
You
So
sure
what do
that-
you
It tastes good,
do? What do you
though.
do?
You
Cooked it
sure
later
it
that
wasn't
night.
trying to eat the guy? Like
That is like last 2 weeks doesn't work out.
Yeah, he's like, let me taste this.
Let's
Like,
no, it's had a chat. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
yeah, so I think like octopus is probably the weirdest thing or the most exotic thing I've had.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you?
I think I've had a lot of foods that people would like say is exotic. I think recently when I went Thailand, I had a scorpion.
Oh.
I had some like caiman, alligator.
Yeah. Is
some
alligator
grasshoppers.
chewy? I've heard that it's chewy. Alligator.
It's a very
that's
lean
very
meat.
hard, right?
It's like it's okay like as generic as it sounds because everyone says like a new like any meat it kind of tastes like chicken, but
Yeah.
like alligator, crocodile, they just taste like chicken and fish mixed together.
Oh, okay.
I think I had it together. Yeah, it's like kind of like fishy, but it's like very like dense.
It's a dense
like,
fishiness, yeah. So it kind of
Yeah.
gives like chicken vibes as well. Yeah, I don't know, grasshoppers. Like I'm very
Oh.
Was it like fried?
yeah. They were just really crunchy, like not much.
Yeah, with
Do you-
grasshopper, there was a time at uni they were giving out free waffles.
Oh yeah.
But the thing is, the waffle has the chocolate syrup on it, but it also has grasshoppers on it. And I
Is
got
this
this.
VSA?
I'm not sure which side you're
I think
on.
I've heard of that
But,
before.
yeah, I haven't seen it. It was before COVID.
Oh yeah.
So I'm like holding this waffle with grasshoppers and chocolate on it, and I'm like, I've never had grasshoppers before. Am I gonna commit to just
Yeah.
eating it with the grasshopper? And I was about to, but then I was just like, oh no, let's not do that. So I like
No.
picked the grasshoppers,
Yeah.
off, and I just ate the waffle without the.
You're wasting the protein. That's
It
where all
is,
the
but it's a
nutrients
great
are.
source. Yeah, great.
Yeah, I've
nutrients.
heard it is.
Yeah.
I've heard it actually is.
it's-
Yeah.
It's very good for protein, but I was just like, oh come on. not like if there was somebody else with me who was also down to try.
Yeah,
the
fair.
grasshopper, I definitely would.
Yeah.
And I think that's definitely me. Like if I have somebody like down to just
So egging you on it.
egging me on
Yeah.
or like putting me on it, then I'm happy to eat it.
Mm.
Like when I went to India, my mum's brother was taking me to this seafood restaurant, and I was like, I don't really like seafood. I don't know if I want to go there. He's like, no, this is the good shit. Like,
Trust.
I'll put you on
Yeah,
this, right?
real.
So we go there, and it's like buffet, so you can just get
Ooh,
whatever,
yeah.
however many seafood stuff that you want. And I'm eating this, and I'm like, holy crap! This is how good it can taste. Like, where was this like my entire life? Where was I getting like the cheap stuff? Like, like, because they were all things that I never thought that I would eat. Like crab, my grandmother cooked once, but I never ate it then. Like, yeah, it was eating crab. It was like fish eggs as well.
Ooh, yeah.
All these like all these foods that I never thought I would actually like or enjoy.
Yeah.
That I was like, damn, this is like, you bring more of this, man. Like, yeah.
Was it like how it was like cooked in terms of like seasonings, all of that, or was it like the freshness? Or
Yeah,
was
I think it definitely was the way it was cooked. It was cooked a very Indian way, so it was a lot of like
Spice and
masala,
stuff, yeah.
spices. So I couldn't really taste the fishiness.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was like, he's just eating because it like covers all the seafood taste.
All the seafood
I think-
taste, and
Yeah.
it's
I think like freshness is like a huge factor though, because like if it's off, like that's when you get the fishy taste. If
Yeah,
it's really
exactly.
off, yeah.
like everybody says that, right? They're like, if it's fresh, there's no fishy taste.
Yeah.
And I had sashimi for the first time, like at a Japanese place. Then it was like I was like so nervous to eat it. And I'm like, bro, like nah, this is. I know it's salmon. I love salmon, but like
Yeah.
this is like fishy salmon. I was like, oh. And I ate it, and I'm like, oh, it's actually it's
Yeah.
alright. Like,
Yeah.
it's not bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think I could eat that many. Like, how many sashimi slices and stuff do you eat? Like,
Oh, I could eat so many.
Because there's like there's no substance to it. Like it just tastes,
Yeah.
and then like it doesn't
And
fill you up.
I think it depends because like you can have like depending on where on the fish as well, like salmon belly, like there's like certain areas that are fattier than others, so it's like if you have too much of it gets heavy, but otherwise it's like pretty light, right? Like it's not like you're eating huge chunks of fat or anything that's like hard.
Yeah.
But I think we're really lucky, like in Australia, like Sydney, that we have really fresh like seafood. Like in the world, it's like some of the fresh, like we're surrounded by ocean.
Well,
You'd expect
There's
like
no way out, bro. We're an island.
yeah, you'd expect fresh seafood.
Yeah.
But I think that's really good because, like, I know a lot of people who, like, travel to Australia and they're like, oh, like, it's just so different because everything they eat there, it's like they don't really buy fresh, they buy it frozen. Or, like, yeah, so I think that's very different.
Like, the salmon is interesting because, like, I actually think the way my mum cooks salmon is the best, right? Which is why I was talking about mom's cooking being
mom's
the
cooking
best,
best,
right?
yeah.
Because like like the specific spice mix that she uses on like fresh salmon, I think, and then we fry it after that.
Yeah.
I think it's just like ungodly how good it tastes, especially with.
Put us on the recipe then.
Dude,
Yeah, can we
I,
add
like,
it to the...
I actually need like my mom to teach me this recipe. 'Cause I'm
Yeah.
like, I like need this in my life. Like, yeah, especially like you mentioned the belly part. So when we would get the fresh salmon, it was like it wasn't just the belly part. But each piece would have like the end of the belly on it, and I would like save that for the end, like the last bite. I'm like, you're too good. Yeah, that was just like insane. Are there any foods that you guys like hate? So like how I hate pasta. Is there anything
We'll come back to that. We'll
We
like
dive into that. We'll
unpack
really
that a
dive
bit.
into that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll unpack that a
It's
bit.
right.
We've been like processing, thinking like, why? Like, I just don't get it.
It's like, was I dropped as a child? Like, what?
Yeah, I know.
Possibly, yeah.
I actually was, but like, we'll come back.
I'll come out of that. You come out of that as well.
I'll eat everything. Like, there's nothing that I'm like I cannot touch or eat.
Yeah.
And I feel like I definitely like foods that for some other people it's like tough. Like I love eggplant, right? And like that's something that not a lot of people eat. But anyway, back to foods we hate.
No eggplant for you?
I mean, I don't mind it.
You
but,
don't- yeah, fair.
I don't particularly love or hate it. Like,
Yeah,
I don't eat it
I
that
think
often,
it
so-
like a lot of foods. It depends like how you prepare it. Like
100%, yeah.
for sure.
with if you just gave me like
A raw eggplant? I don't think you do.
yeah
I wouldn't
no,
either.
but like just boiled eggplant, no seasoning. Then like as well, it's not that I wouldn't not eat it. It's just not my like preferred
Yeah.
way,
Have
right?
you guys actually seen like eggplant growing? Like, it genuinely does look
It's like a light
eggs.
bulb, like, growing,
Yeah,
right?
It genuinely
Yeah.
looks like eggs growing, right? Because if you look at the ripe eggplant, like,
Yeah.
you wonder like why it's called that. But when it's actually growing, it does
It's
look
like egg on a
like
plant.
eggs growing
Yeah.
on plants.
Yeah,
So,
it's really cool.
tangent.
Give a fun fact.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, speaking of before, because you like tomatoes. In eggplant, I think in the UK they call it aubergine.
Aubergine, yeah.
Aubergine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so many like weird like food things that you're like, oh,
It's like
same
zucchini
thing.
and courgette.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So many weird ones. Yeah. Food. Okay, so food I don't like. I think there's only one that really pops in my mind, which is like olives.
Okay.
And for me, I think olives, it's just because, like, maybe when I was, like, younger, but even now, like, when I have olives, I just find them, well, like, obviously there's different ones, like green ones, black ones, whatever.
Yeah.
But they're just so savory that it kind of just leaves, like, that feeling in your mouth that's like, oh, I'm, like, so thirsty. Like, leaves
It's
a
overly
dry,
salty,
like,
yeah,
salty feeling,
right.
yeah. I feel like it's not my favorite. Like, if you get, like, a pizza, right?
Yeah.
What pizza do you get that always comes, a pepperoni pizza? I think that always comes with olives.
No, like Supreme, I think.
Yeah.
Supreme, sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
Supreme always comes with olives. So, like, that is, like, not too bad. Like, I'll eat that. Like, I won't pick it off. But, like, if you have, like, a cheese and meatball, like a charcuterie board, and
Yeah.
you got olives, I'm not going to, like, go for the olives.
Fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was this at Costco you could get these olives that are stuffed with peanuts. And those
Interesting
were
mix.
Like boiled
amazing.
peanuts?
Huh?
Yeah,
Like
interesting
boiled
mix.
I don't know if I think the peanuts are cooked somehow.
Yeah,
but
are they like soft or a bit hard?
I think they're a bit hard.
Okay, yeah.
That's
I
interesting.
haven't had it in years, but
Damn.
because
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
haven't seen it at Costco before, and I don't know how they get the peanut in the olives like that. It's just like it's crazy. Like
Interesting.
I don't
Like,
see how
I
it
feel like you'd have to, like, hand stuff that, like, right? Like,
Oh.
I don't know if a
There'll be a little
machine.
pick machine that just
Yeah.
like.
Could you automate that? Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
I like because this is again a huge jar full of these. I feel sorry for a dude if he's like sitting.
There's like one like Greek grab
Yeah.
and the back just doing it like one hand. Just,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
dropping that in. Yeah.
Yeah, and like that was actually really really good because like the taste of the olive mixed with like the texture of the peanut, I was like, this is bomb.
To me, that screams pregnancy craving. It's like one of those things someone invented when they had, like, a weird craving.
Give me the pickle and cheese and tuna mixed in with a bit of
Yeah,
chocolate.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what food do you not like?
Yeah, I think I'm like a similar vein. Like as in, there's no food that I really dislike.
Do you guys like beetroot?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But actually, that's the thing though. Like, I don't eat beetroot that much though. It's like if it's like mixed with like a rocket salad with like feta and all that stuff, like I feel like it's good.
Yeah.
Oh, if you had pine nuts in any salad, it's like so
Oh,
good.
so, yeah.
Pine nuts.
Oh, pine nuts.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Pine trees? Like this like
I had PI nuts and I
Oh,
was
Yeah.
pine nuts.
What?
Oh.
I'm like,
Wait, there's a new kind of nut, but I wouldn't pine nuts.
Yeah. But then the only other like thing that I can think of that I eat beetroot a lot would be just like, you know, like in burgers where you add like a beetroot slice.
That's
But
I'm not a
even
big fan
that's
of-
not
I'm
that
I'm not a big fan
common.
of that.
I do not like that.
That's an
at
Aussie burger. I don't like it too much either. Because like
Pineapple in burgers, pineapple on pizza.
I do like pineapple on
Wait,
like
Really?
sugar.
well, hold up. I was nodding my head, but like pineapple in like no.
Oh, well, pineapple on burgers.
In burgers, no, I don't like that either.
Have you had it?
I have. Yes.
Okay, yeah,
Because
fair.
it's that grilled.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Pineapple pizza, pineapple hamburgers, right? And I do not like it at all.
fair.
I actually don't like when it's like too sweet in a spicy or savory.
Okay, you just like that. It's savory. It's savory.
Yeah, savory. Like don't
Okay.
put the thing in there. That's I also.
See,
I also
interesting.
Don't get palate cleansers. Like people eat radish.
Yeah.
With, like,
Oh, I love radish, like pickled radish. That's
Oh,
the best.
daikon and shit. Oh,
Yeah, that's
wow.
so
Yeah.
good.
I hate it. Like when we're eating like Korean fried chicken, and then they're like, "Oh, let me just get this."
It's
radish."
so
I'm like,
light,
Yeah.
and it's like
But
the
it, like,
tanginess is like so
like,
good.
compliment.
Yeah.
Taste in your mouth,
But it's like having pickles. Like, do you like pickles in your burgers?
pickle. Yeah.
But I think the same thing.
But pickles aren't like sweet though. Like they go with the taste of the burger. Like whereas like the pineapples or the radishes and whatever, it,
Yeah.
like it goes against the taste of the burger.
That's so interesting. I love that.
Yeah.
I love like I think maybe also because like culturally like Chinese food or because I'm Shanghainese, so like a lot of like because in China you have so many different like regions, right? And everyone like some areas are really known for like their spicy food, others
Yeah.
like you know it changes. But Shanghai is known for having like a bit sweeter food, and I feel like we have it. But that's the thing. Like at home, I don't think we don't. It's not like we add lots of sugar to everything, but like sometimes there are dishes that have that sweet sour combo, sweet spicy combo, sweet savory, and so I feel like I've like grown to really like it. But yeah, I like those like areas. Sweet and salty popcorn is my
It's
favorite.
hard, bro. It goes so
That's
hard.
my favorite. Yeah,
Right. I don't think
So I
I've
love
tried
those.
that before, so.
really.
Oh,
Yeah,
that,
I
we
like
need to get
it.
you on.
We
so
need
many
an
things.
episode where
Bro,
it's just
him
like
trying,
Niru
like,
trying food.
basically,
Yeah,
bro,
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
I think definitely more on your side. Like I love putting a shit ton of sugar in my savory foods. Like it just makes the pop. Like it does balances. Like you need a bit of all the five.
Well, we're doing like the ratatouille stuff, you know,
Yeah,
salt and
exactly.
sweet.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I think a lot of Indian dishes don't have sugar in it.
Yeah, they don't.
I don't think
Yeah.
it's even like an ingredient of like even just a little bit. Like if we need to make something like less spicy, you do that by adding like coconut cream or something like that, where the coconut cream itself is
Yeah, right,
slightly
that has a
sweet,
bit- yeah.
but it doesn't it doesn't make the dish sweet type of thing.
Interesting.
It kind of balance, just like kind of mellows it out rather than
Yeah,
makes it weird.
mellows it out. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. Yeah,
Interesting. Yeah.
Do you like sweet and sour pork? Sorry.
Very good.
Sorry.
sweet and sour pork.
Yeah.
I don't think I've had that either.
Oh,
We need an on running list.
Bro,
Like,
it's
just
like
add it
staples,
on.
right? These are the staples. Yeah.
Like pork is interesting because it's not something my parents eat that frequently.
Right.
So I actually like one of the first times I had like other than bacon when I was eating pork was me and my parents went on a road trip to like rural New South Wales. We're like out back.
Was this Broken Hill?
This was not Broken Hill,
Okay.
but this was like similar distance.
Oh, okay.
And the towns are way smaller. Like where we were staying, it was like 87 people or something.
Jeez.
That was the population.
That's tiny.
So while we were there, it was 90 because we. Yeah. But on the way to that town, there was another town which is like on the border of New South Wales and Victoria, and there was a restaurant there that for some reason does like Asian like fusion with a lot of Western Western dishes. So they literally had a Korean fried chicken burger,
No,
and I'm
it's
just like, this is like the widest suburb.
Yeah.
Where did Korean fried chicken burger come from?
Yeah.
Wait, is this Albury?
I don't remember
okay.
the name of the
Fair.
place. Like, I can't remember for the life of me. But that restaurant had a pork belly thing going on, and we had fried rice left over from like the night before or thing. So I literally was having the fried rice with the pork belly, and I was like, "Oh, but this is like heaven, dude!" Like,
Damn.
like nobody told me pork belly tasted so good. Like, holy crap. So yeah, I've only had like pork belly, like 2 different versions of it. That one, and recently I had it at my parents' anniversary. No, my mom's birthday. My mom's birthday.
Cute.
Yeah, when we went out, I had the pork. So those two, other than those 2 times, I haven't had pork that much.
Pork to me is so good. I love pig.
Yeah.
He's like a pig out.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about fast food places? Like, so what's the fast food tier list that you guys think?
For me, Mac is right at the bottom.
Right at the
Really?
bottom?
Why is that?
Like I think like serving size is tiny, prices have gone up. Flavor wise, I feel I can get the burgers are better at Hungry Jack's. I'm not gonna lie, and they're better at KFC.
At KFC, yeah.
I think the one thing holding me on to Macca's is soft serve. I go out of my way to get a soft serve anytime I'm out, but last time I had it, it was watered down. So I don't know if they're changing it.
Dude, I'm like crying because like whenever they first announced it, right, I was like 30 cent like soft serves, and now it's like 70 cents. Some places it's like $1
It's 85.
or like
It's 80 now.
oh my god.
It's too much.
I remember when like you start and they like pack it on.
Yeah.
And then now it's like barely any.
Yeah, and more price. It's
Yeah.
heartbreaking.
It's just like $1, but we just like hold into that $1 so
Yeah.
dearly because you know how much it's like inflated in price that you're
Couldn't you
just
just have 3 for the same price?
exactly.
Yeah. No, it's interesting you put Macca's at the bottom because like I kind of agree in the sense that like I crave the taste of McDonald's a lot.
Yeah.
That's why I think the whole like Macca's run, it's a very like it's a very what do you call it, glamorized thing because a lot of people do crave Macca's. And like that's the same for me. But I think like every time I get Macca's, after like the first 2 bites of a burger, I'm like I'm kind of done. Like I don't like this burger anymore. Like, my craving has been satisfied. I don't need to eat the rest of it. And it feels like a waste eating the rest of the burger.
That's really interesting. Like you mentioned as well, like the term like Macca's run, right?
Yeah.
But you never hear someone say like KFC run, Hungry Jack's run. Like it's just developed. Is that an Aussie thing?
Like as in Macca's is an Aussie. So I assume
Yeah, Macca's
would they have like
itself is
Mickey
an
D
Aussie word.
So would like Mickey D's run in America or something?
Yeah.
Mickey D's. Like I think I was talking to Dheeraj about this earlier. I'm like, I can't believe that Macca's is not a universal short form for
I
McDonald's.
thought it was.
I thought
Honestly.
it
It makes sense.
Yeah.
It just sounds so good.
It
Yeah.
sounds so good. It works so well. But yeah, apparently it's only an Aussie
That's so
thing.
interesting.
Yeah.
But I've heard like Australian Macca's is like so basic. Like you go to like Japan Macca's like
Ooh, yeah.
and or like anywhere they've got so many like so much more diversity.
Yeah, well,
Whereas like
Japan Macca's is probably not like I think it's not a good example because that is only available in Japan. So the US Macca's is probably very similar to American
very
Australian
similar,
Macca's. One thing is like Indian KFC has like rice dishes in it.
I've
Every
heard
Asian-
that. I've
every
heard
Asian
that.
country
Yeah.
has like
Yeah.
rice.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I remember one time my
Rice
mom
and
I,
chicken.
we were in India and we got the rice thing from KFC and it was kind of like fried rice but it had like KFC chicken in it and like we weren't expecting much of it. We were like, oh, this is probably like meh. So we buy that, come home, we eat this and it's like godly. It was so good. And my cousin who was staying with us came, and then she was like, me and my mum were just like preaching to her about like, bro, KFC. This is, like,
They've ascended. They're lying to her.
They like take you somewhere really nice, so you're like, no, I just want the
I just want
KFC.
a KFC, dude. Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, you did say you wanted KFC today as well. So
I
Yeah,
didn't say I want
yeah.
KFC. Like, I just want that one dish, and I've
Yeah.
never had it after that.
Yeah.
It was good that you brought up like Indian fast food. I love Indian Macca's so much.
Really?
Indian Macca's slap so hard. They had this thing called like it was like the Mas Maraj or something. It's like a Big Mac but with chicken patties and the spicy sauce, and it hits so hard.
Oh, wow.
I still crave that to this day. I haven't had it in like 10 years.
10 years.
Yeah.
Damn, that's great. But I feel like every fast food chain, at least, I feel like we don't have that much variety, right? It's really like Macca's, KFC, Hungry Jack's, Red Rooster, if anyone goes.
Red Rooster's actually really good. Like, I might seem like an industry plant, but it's actually really
I've
good.
seen they recently,
right there, bro.
yeah, they recently released like a sweet spicy sauce something for Red Rooster, and I've seen like everyone promoting it, and I'm like, kind of want to try that.
Red Rooster.
No, okay, so like my old colleague just put me onto it. Like one time she was like, dude, no, like we have to go. And I was like, all right, let's go Red Rooster. I'm probably gonna get mugged or something there, but it's fine. We go in and I get the food. Like, it's probably like top 3 for me fast food wise. I can't think. Yeah, it's definitely my top 3. Yeah.
See, that's the thing. I feel like if someone's like gotten onto Red Rooster and they really like it, they'll like support it. They'll like always go.
Because everyone
It's,
shits on it,
top
so I'm
of
like,
mind.
now I have to like support
Yeah.
it now. Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. But like besides that, what else do we have? Like,
We have Oporto and Taco Bell as well, technically. We have like the two.
I want to try Taco Bell. I want to try Taco Bell. I've like never
There's one in
been yet.
Blacktown if you want to go to the
Yeah,
west side.
Road trip, road trip.
Also, we also have Five Guys, right? We have two of them.
Oh yeah,
Five
Five
Guys
Guys.
is good.
Five Guys is like good, but like overpriced.
Bro,
Like it's a lot.
it's like $25 for a burger and fries.
I don't know. It's expensive.
The
like,
shake is really good though.
Yeah, the shake's
It's
really
worth it.
oh, but then like the shake though, because we had Five Guys together, right? It's like I remember we mixed all the flavors together,
Yeah, so you got everything except chocolate and banana.
and then you
I
got the
got
chocolate and
chocolate
banana,
and
and then we
banana.
tried both.
Yeah.
It was good, but it's definitely like a lot. Like
heavy.
you kind of like, I gotta go for a run after this or
Yeah.
something. But I feel like I don't have like one fast food chain that I really really love. I think it's more like depending on what food I want, I'll go where.
Yeah.
So it's like Macca's. For me, it's like the nuggets,
Yeah.
the 24-piece nuggets or the 10-piece nuggets. McChicken if I feel like a chicken burger, or the apple pie, or the soft serve. Or and like sometimes I gotta love like you love like the Macca's like soggy fries. Like sometimes
Ooh.
it hits.
I don't like Macca's fries. They're always under seasoned.
Really?
Oh
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
I haven't had it that much, but like sometimes I'm like, I don't mind that. Like I don't want like the really thick potatoey
Yeah.
chips,
Yeah.
right?
It's not like like just the outside part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's like KFC, Wicked Wings, Twister. That's really it. And then recently, I feel like Hungry Jack's, because I haven't had much Hungry Jack's, but they do onion rings, which none of
Dude,
the
they
others do.
slap. Onion
And the
rings so
onion rings are
good.
so, because it's like actual onion, right? Like it's not
Yeah.
just batter. Those are really good. Like that's, I would go for that. And I think the burgers are not bad as well. I think for me, it's just like, I just never really went. Like it was just not
Fair.
like around. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mentioned that we don't have that many fast food chains here. What would be like American fast food chains that you?
Dude, I'm craving some. I really want to just go to the US to try like all the fast food chains.
Dude, yeah.
Like,
that's what I'm
someone-
waiting for it, yeah.
Can we like fly out to like the US? Like someone like
Yes,
take
we have
us.
to, yes,
Yeah.
please.
Fly us out.
Someone,
Yeah.
if anyone wants to collab or anything.
Yeah.
Like, I think In-N-Out, heard about it so much.
Yeah,
Need
In-N-Out.
In-N-Out.
Oh.
Apparently
Dude, I
greatest
need
cheeseburger you
In-N-Out.
can get.
Yeah.
Shake
And
Shack.
they've got in and out. Apparently they've got the secret menu stuff.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's all in and out.
I think like all the secret menu shit you see on like TikTok, YouTube and whatnot, like they're only in America. If you try that shit
KFC
here, they'll...
has secret.
Really?
Yeah, in Australia. I get it regularly. Yeah.
Oh, is it good?
Oh, what's an
Yeah, it's
item?
really good. So some of them, so there's something called a triple stacker. So instead of it's like a zinger stacker with extra patty.
Yeah.
But it tastes like quite different from a zinger stacker. Like for some reason, I don't know why. So that's there. Then there's it's called a like similar to a halal snack pack. There's a KFC snack pack.
Oh.
Oh,
you
damn.
get popcorn chicken with chips, and you get the sauce they use, the zinger sauce.
Oh,
It's
okay.
it actually slaps. It's really
Sounds like
good. And
what-
it's $5, and it's
Damn.
very filling. And it's sort of like I really like that. That's what
Yeah.
I always get. They have some special twister type thing as well, and that menu actually cycles out. It changes from time to time. Also the secret menu. So every time I show my
Damn.
friends that KFC has a secret menu, because it's in the app.
Bro, we've gone with you before. You've never
Wait, you
taken
never
us.
mentioned it one
Yeah.
time, God.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Really keeping it a secret.
Just saving it for this moment.
Just
Just
saving
like
it.
Yeah,
video
yeah,
camera.
On the podcast, I'm like,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. What else you say? In and out.
Chick-fil-A,
Chick- Chick-fil-A.
Oh.
Chick-fil-A,
I love them
Popeyes, like
so
the-
much. Yeah, Chick-fil-A,
Dude, Popeyes I've heard, yeah.
Yeah.
Jollibee?
But that's all over Asia.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jollibee.
Jollibee,
Because that's like the Filipino like fast food.
Oh,
I
chain,
didn't
yeah.
like it.
Oh,
I had it
really?
when I went to Vietnam. It was like, I was expecting so much because I heard so
Yeah.
much about it. I was like,
It's like hype as shit.
this is the best chicken I'm going to have in my
Yeah.
life. And I was like, why is this Western Woolies chicken?
Oh, damn. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's rough.
Do we say Popeyes?
Yeah, we said
Popeyes, yeah.
Popeyes.
Shake Shack, I've heard a lot about.
Oh, Shake Shack. I want the animal fries from Shake
Yeah,
Shack.
Wait, is it animal fries from Shake Shack or In-N-Out?
I thought, I don't know.
Maybe it's both.
Maybe, but maybe they have
it's,
because
it's
they have
one
the
of
big
them.
ones.
Yeah.
Like Shake
Because
Shack's the
it's-
West
yeah.
Coast and In-N-Out's East Coast.
Oh,
that's-
yeah.
That's why it's like there's
Yeah.
always a competition about which one's better because
Yeah.
nobody
Yeah.
can actually compare the two. But,
Wait, which one's the one that does all the like burritos and
Or Chipotle?
Chipotle?
Chipotle, yeah.
But I feel
Recently-
like GYG's better.
GYG.
I've never had Chipotle, so I can't say. But I really want to try. I feel like recently I've had like burrito craving, like a good hearty burrito, and like the Chipotle ones. Like I see them all on TikTok and everything, and they just look so good.
They look so much like the portion size in America is massive.
Yeah.
I'm so jealous.
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
people talk about like America being expensive, right?
Yeah.
But I'm like, dude, you can just buy like one meal and eat it for like.
Yeah,
3
break it up,
days.
bro. Yeah,
Like,
just break it up,
Like,
man.
just
Yeah.
get one, eat it 3 times. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, surely like you can budget it that way. Like,
Yeah.
and,
Yeah, that's
like,
crazy.
I also like, there's also like, I see random like, it's not big chains, but there's just like these like small mom and shop like Asian stores in like Chinatown in New York or California that I'm just
dude.
like it's not the same vibe isn't there in like in Sydney. Like the Chinese shops here, like I don't like that much. I think the very small ones.
Yeah.
Some of them slap.
Really?
Some of them slap.
Some of them,
I
yeah.
really like.
But just finding those hidden gems is a bit harder.
Yeah. it's
Yeah.
just, like,
Yeah.
I think harder.
I just realized, like, in terms of, like, small places, Wendy's.
They're opening Wendy's.
Yeah, they're opening a Wendy's in Australia.
Yeah.
They're opening quite a few as well.
Yeah, a big. I don't know about big rollouts like that. Like just logically, they tried that with Starbucks like a few years ago, and that
yeah.
completely failed.
Yeah, because here, like, no one... You know,
one
some
cares
places, like, in the US, like, Starbucks is such a big thing, right?
Yeah.
But here, I feel like it's not really. Like,
Apparently,
Yeah.
Australia's got the best coffee in the world.
Best coffee, yeah, because
Yeah.
like the regular coffee shop is like just as good as like Starbucks.
Yeah.
but Starbucks
Or, like,
is
better.
more expensive.
I don't know,
Yeah, even better. Yeah.
Yeah,
but, like, for me, if I want coffee, my first thought is not Starbucks. Because, like, I associate Starbucks with, like, Frappuccino or just, like... Stuff that's like mixed coffee. It's not really coffee. It's like
Venti
added,
with the syrup
yeah,
and
like
the,
with a
Santi mochi,
frappe,
yeah, like
with a
You get
frappe
that-
with half this, half that, and then especially like some of those drinks are really good, right? But then I hate how on the board it's so clear like how many kilojoules or calories everything is, and I'm like,
Oh.
dude,
trying to
don't
drink
tell
my
me,
drink, bro.
yeah, don't tell me I'm drinking like 5,000 calories in one thing. Like
yeah.
it like deters me.
That's actually interesting. I've only had
Yeah.
Starbucks once, and that was literally at Singapore Airport, not even in.
Ah,
Australia.
yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah, because we were at Singapore Airport, and I was like, "Look at a Starbucks."
I guess that- you're gonna try it out. Yeah.
Yeah, what do you
I
think
just,
of
like, I had,
it?
like, a chocolate frappuccino. I was like, dude, this tastes like.
Not even coffee.
Yeah, not even coffee. Yeah, I
Wait, sorry,
was like,
do you like chocolate? Like I haven't heard this before.
do I like chocolate? Do I?
So Niru is like renowned. Like if he goes bingsu or like milk tea, he's getting chocolate flavored,
anything.
which is
Yeah. We went to get
sacrilegious.
fried chicken.
Like,
He asked for
it is
chocolate sauce on top.
No,
Yeah.
it is honestly the better flavor. Like chocolate milk tea and chocolate bingsu is like it's everybody calls it bad just because it's not like the Asian way, right? It is kind of cultural appropriation. Like I'm not gonna lie, but it's like you just kind of make it better. It's more like it's more sweet. It's more.
You know what? You actually are standing up for like your own rights. Like I think it's like civil rights activists, suffragettes, and then like Niru's there, like
Chocolate-
you're translating
with
chocolate
it,
flavors.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
No, but like I like did manage to like convert one of my friends into actually craving chocolate bingsu, and then like she got her friends onto it. So like I'm telling you, like once you join the dark side, there is no going back. Like,
Dark side. Oh, I like it.
I don't think it's bad. It's
Yeah.
just like I wouldn't rate it because I feel like it's not really like that special, unique of a flavor. You know?
No, I have a story, right? So we went to this place to get desserts, and we ordered like 3 desserts or 2 desserts. I don't remember. And one of them was a chocolate one, and I had to fight tooth and nail to get them to buy this because everybody's like, no, that's so basic.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get some sesame seed soybean thingy. I'm like, dude, like just get the
get the
chocolate.
good one, bro, yeah.
Just get the chocolate wafers with ice cream and condensed milk. You cannot miss. So we get that, and like everybody eats all three of the dishes.
Yeah.
And we're like ranking at the end, right? And like everybody says that the chocolate was the best part.
Damn.
Right?
Was that when
And
we
it
went
gets-
out?
Yeah, that was with her. And so when it gets to Janette's turn to vote, she literally puts like one of the other dishes before the chocolate. And I'm like, no, dude, you're just in denial.
No,
She
it was
just-
actually-
she just does not
What did
want
you put
to
above
accept.
the chocolate?
I think it was
I
like
can't
some
remember.
watermelon thingy, which was
That
good.
does sound like a
It
sauce,
was
yeah.
good. It was
Yeah.
really good, I admit.
I'm not
But
saying
the
it's
chocolate was
bad. It's just not my top pick. Like it's good, but that's the thing. Like for me, like chocolate milk tea. Like when I want milk tea, I like the actual tea flavor. Like that's what I want when I go get milk tea. Like I'm more the milk side than like a fruity side. But then even with chocolate, like if I get a chocolate milk tea, there's no tea in that. It's just chocolate milk.
Chocolate milk, yeah.
So that's why, like for me, I'm like, why would you get that if you're getting milk tea? Because it's like my association is like I want like the herbal tea flavor.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
the boba is a bit harder for me to justify because I do get it. Like getting, if you just go to Woolies, get chocolate milk, it is cheaper than getting
And tastes
chocolate.
pretty- like,
And
pretty
it's
similar,
pretty much
right?
the same.
Yeah.
So like like chocolate boba, I think it makes sense. I do think there are other
Yeah.
flavors like taro I really like that I think it kind of is justified not getting chocolate.
Taro's a bit too much of a complex flavor taste profile for you, bro.
Hey, yo,
It's not just all sweet, like there's some
Yeah,
complexity.
yeah.
There's some complexity, yeah. No, so I really like taro, but when it comes to bingsu, I do think the chocolate is like the best flavor. Like, you
Okay.
cannot convince me otherwise.
I think I have to be more on Janette's side as well because I'm just more of a fruity man. Like, I think I had my phase where I was like into like those decadent flavors for a little bit, but like I can't think like over the last year at least I'm like any mango, any like watermelon, anything refreshing. I'm just like on that.
Niru's like he like bingsu, and then it's like the chaser is like the condensed milk.
The condensed milk,
Yeah,
With some cocoa powder just mixed in.
Yeah.
Because why not?
love that.
Yeah. So what are you guys' like comfort foods then? So what are you craving for, like if you're getting takeaway?
You're saying the Korean food, right? Comfort food.
It's either that or like Italian food, like pasta, pizza. I know, obviously
Oh,
for
the shit
you.
thinking pasta as well. Like it's just
Yeah,
nice and
yeah.
like hearty. It's like warm.
Yeah.
It's like heavy.
No.
It's like a hug. You know what I mean?
It's hearty. Yeah.
See, for a while, I think pasta was like that for me. When I was young, I really, really liked pasta.
Yeah.
And like me and my friends would eat pasta all the time. I'd go to their house, we'd be eating pasta, this, that. But I like clearly remember this one time where I'm at my friend's house, his mom's made us all pasta, and all three of us are just eating. And I remember like eating my spoon and I'm just like, this is bad. Like, why are we eating this? This genuinely has no flavor. It has no taste. It's kind of just like, it's kind of filling, kind of squishy, kind of chewy.
Shout out to Niru's friend's mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His friend's mom just like
Shit.
just brought me to enlightenment with her pasta.
Yeah.
Like I was like the Buddha, bro. I'm like, wait, I can see clearly now.
Yeah.
And ever since then I haven't actually been able to like see the other side of it where I'm like, I could see myself buying this, going out of my way to crave this, want this.
I feel like the extent of pasta he'd like is like mac and cheese.
No, okay. I don't like mac and cheese either.
Oh.
I've only had it in a burger. This burger had mac and cheese in it, and I thought it was the worst part of the burger. I was like, this kind of ruined the burger for me.
Damn.
Damn.
So what if you had to pick a pasta? What would it be? So let's build a pasta with Niru. So let's start with like type of pasta, and then we'll talk about the sauce, and then like the toppings, ingredients you mix in.
Yeah, you're honestly gonna have to like give me options because
Okay.
I don't think I've had pasta in like 12, 13 years. So I genuinely
Missing out. He's
Missing
missing
out,
out.
he is.
I'm really not. But like, so I genuinely don't know what things are called or what the taste difference is. Like, I honestly don't think pasta shape matters. Like, I think all of them taste the same, except if they're like tubes and they have like sauce or something inside. Then when you like bite it, you get some of that flavor. But other than that, I don't think
We
the
love
shape
an inclusive king, but like, I think
We love
it's-
that you don't see like shapes and
Yeah.
sizes.
Rate that 100%. But like, okay, so to an extent, it's kind of right because at the end of the day, it's the same ingredients, just different shapes, right?
Yeah.
I think when you're talking about stuff like ravioli and stuff, it's very different. Like you were saying, there's actual food inside.
Inside, yeah.
So it's like ravioli, tortellini.
Yeah. And then when it comes to like normal pasta shapes, I think the main difference is whether like it's like a mainly egg noodle, whether it's like whether it's like using some kind of other flour. That kind of should make a difference. I think.
It's like long or short. So you got like
Yeah.
spaghetti, fettuccine. So like spaghetti is like thinner.
Yeah.
Tortellini is like thicker, flatter.
Right.
And
So
then
what do
you've
you like?
and then short you've got like the penne, the spirals.
What's
Penne is
Penny,
like
the little tubes.
yeah.
Oh, the little cheese.
Little
Right.
skinny
And then
chips.
penne is like the spirally ones.
Right.
Rigatoni,
Those are some of the
thick
main
tubes.
ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd probably be like the flatter one. I think there's not the spaghetti one.
Fettuccine.
Fettuccine. Yeah.
Mm.
I'd probably prefer that for the
The chew of it? The texture?
Yeah, the chew of
Yeah.
the texture. It's kind of like the rice noodles in
Mm.
the Asian equivalent.
Like in a pad see,
Yeah.
pad thai kind of bit. Yeah.
That type of thing. Yeah, for sauces, I would probably prefer a more creamy than a more tomatoey one. I think.
You know, as soon as you said fettuccine, I was like fettuccine,
Yeah,
like
Alfredo.
carbonara, like
Oh,
Alfredo.
yeah.
Alfredo.
It's a classic.
I feel like that's what you would.
It's just cream, bro. Like
Right,
you will.
I-
It's so
I
decadent.
have no idea what you're talking
It's
about.
just-
for sure.
It's just cream, cheese, some bacon.
The
Yeah.
only time I've heard the Alfredo that you just said is because Domino's Pizza has not Domino's Pizza Hut has a Alfredo sauce that is
yeah,
that tastes
yeah.
really good as a pizza base.
Yeah.
Um,
Because just cream.
it's just cream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what ingredients would you have in it?
What ingredients are generally in pasta? Like
So you could
sausage,
have
I don't
like, oh yeah, you could have like sausage, mushroom.
It's just what would you have like pizza toppings? It's the same
Pizza
thing you
toppings.
put on like.
Yeah, just things
okay,
pizza toppings
right,
on your pasta. Yeah.
Yeah. Mushroom probably not. I don't like them that much.
Well, what about like prawn?
No.
Prawn and cream sauces.
I just don't like that because prawn is like very interesting. I don't like eating them if they're not cooked in an Indian way.
So you
Because-
just don't like the flavor of it.
Interesting.
Then?
Yeah, I just don't
Yeah.
like the taste of it.
But-
because,
So you gotta cover it in spices.
Yeah, I gotta cover it in spices. Like even when my mum cooks it, sometimes it's not fully covered in spices and stuff, and I'm like,
You just throw it back at her. And you're like,
yeah.
do it again.
I'm just like, what is this? Like,
Mum's food is average today.
average today. Yeah, I'm like, I'll take back what I said.
Yeah.
No, but because I like my theory is that like, so my dad is allergic to prawns, right? He's allergic to shellfish.
Oh, you
Okay,
mentioned
yeah.
that.
So I think I didn't get the allergy, but like I just like get the taste.
Did you say allergy?
Allergy. The Indian came out.
The allergy.
The Indian
Yeah.
came out, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't get that, but I think when I taste it, it's like
Just a
it's
natural,
it's like
yeah.
Because you grew up with your dad being like, no, I can't have that. So you just like subconsciously just like, no, I don't want that.
Natural deterrent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that's the case because like my mum and I like eat it pretty often. Like,
Just
my
laugh at your dad while you guys
yeah,
eat?
it's like my dad's just like on the side.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Yeah.
Do you like bacon? Bacon's
Oh,
a common
yeah,
topping.
bacon, 100%,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like some pancetta guanciale is like the
Oh,
Italians say, you know
yeah,
what I mean?
like
Like the real stuff.
The nice salty thick like
Yeah.
pancetta. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
So I'd probably put that.
what other
like,
veggies
sausages
do you put in
and then
pasta?
put-
Broccoli,
let's be real,
spinach,
let's be real.
potato?
I'm not taking
I
any
don't know.
veggies, bro. Like,
No
pumpkin.
veggies.
no, what? Like I said, I don't like sweet, bro. Why are you putting pumpkin on this?
Ooh, that's the most
Pumpkin's
pumpkin
not
tastes
as
good.
sweet. Like
It's a subtle
Pumpkin-
sweetness. It's good.
Pumpkin
Yeah, it's
is
not that,
sweet,
yeah.
though. Like,
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
I like it for the sweet.
I like
no issue.
pumpkin. I feel like has like the same effect as like a banana in a smoothie, right? If you put like a small amount of banana in a smoothie, you only taste banana. That's what I feel like with.
But
pumpkin.
really, I feel like
Yeah.
banana's really subtle in smoothies.
I
No,
think
that's-
banana's really overpowered.
Yeah,
yeah.
there's so
Really?
many TikToks
Oh,
about
interesting.
People, like putting bananas into their pre-workout or putting bananas into
Yeah.
smoothies, and it's just like the meme is just like you can only taste banana.
Little fun
Interesting.
fact: like Somali people eat bananas during their meal as kind of a cleanser.
Oh,
So then they have like, for example,
That's so
Somali people like
cool.
eat pasta as well, like along with rice and their curries and everything. So they have like pasta, then have like a
Wow.
bite of banana, then
Yeah.
go into the curries and stuff.
vibes.
But, yeah,
That's
yeah.
so interesting.
Yeah.
I actually do eat bananas quite a bit. Because
Yeah.
something I like to do and like as an evening snack is like you have like a glass of milk or hot chocolate, and you get like a bowl of peanuts and
Yeah.
banana. So I eat the banana and peanuts together.
Wait, that's a deconstructed like Snickers.
Yeah.
That actually is a wait. Snickers doesn't have banana though.
With the banana on top.
Yeah.
Banana
Or like a
Snickers.
banana sundae, banana split,
Yeah,
like.
banana split.
And you got all the
Yeah.
aspects there.
Yeah.
Deconstructed down.
He's like, it all mixes in
Yeah, it
there.
works out at the end.
Like,
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
really like that.
Cute.
Yeah, so coming back to the pasta. Yeah, I
Honestly, it just
don't-
sounds like a plain fettuccine Alfredo.
It does.
Yeah, I don't.
It's a
think
bit
I
basic,
would.
but it doesn't miss.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But like, and that's also the thing though. Like, all that said, even though I picked all of this, I do not think it's particularly appetizing. Like, I don't want to eat it. Like, even though it's all things I like, I don't see the value in eating that pasta.
But I feel
When,
like.
Korean fried
Yeah.
chicken is gonna hit different. It's just gonna hit different.
But different, right? Everything hits different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But pasta is like a base, right? It's like pasta is a base for like everything else, or like rice or bread or like wraps, right? Like they're like base foods that
people aren't normally chomping on just rice by itself.
Yeah. Right. But because like as you say, like pasta is like plain or like just is that. So is like rice or like bread.
Yeah.
Right.
But, so I feel like rice. We'll come to bread in a bit. Rice, I think. Rice, at least, I feel like, especially in like Indian culture, you eat it with a lot of curries.
Yeah.
And like, since we eat brown rice, the brown rice itself does have taste to it, and that mixed with the taste of curries and the taste of like the side dishes that we have, I do think really makes it better. Like last night my mum made like goat curry, and so I was eating the goat curry with rice and this other side dish that I also really like, and I was like, I ran out of rice at one point and I only had the goat and the other dish, and I was like, this doesn't hit the same. I need that little bit of rice to just tie it together. But I've never felt that way with pasta. Like I've always felt like pasta just feels like it just feels like solid glue in a bunch of food. Like I'm offending so many Italians.
So like if you just have the pasta sauce, then do you think like you'd just be satisfied with
like
pasta sauce?
just the pasta sauce by itself?
But don't you feel like you're missing like a carb, like something like substantial?
Yeah, so I probably would. I feel like I probably would, but I feel like that thing that I'm missing, I feel like is sorted by something other than pasta.
So
I feel like
what
it
would you
fits
have?
different.
I feel like we should try like a curry pasta.
Yeah.
Fusion food.
Something I want to try is a risotto, because that's rice based.
Risotto's really good. Yeah.
So I'm like, maybe I will enjoy a risotto.
Maybe that's your gateway. Because that's the Italian flavors that you like, not like the biggest fan.
Oh, that's another like thing that like Italian Chinese food, like risotto, and then like Asians are like congee.
Bro, yeah.
They're like so similar. Congee.
What's congee?
Similar to risotto. Like that's how like I'd explain it. Yeah.
Like rice.
Oh, okay.
But
yeah, it's like a bit soupy. Yeah.
Okay, this is the first time I've
It's
heard
like
that.
really? Congee, risotto, tortellini, ravioli, dumplings, and then what was the other thing I said?
Yeah.
Oh, like noodles and pasta. Yeah.
Right.
Burritos and sandwiches. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of sandwiches and bread, I don't like bread. Like I don't even like bread crust. I don't eat the crust on bread.
Oh my god. So like when you eat a pizza, you don't eat the crust.
I don't eat the crust.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Bro, like I think that's just a waste of space, honestly. Like if you're eating the crust on pizza.
So you wish the toppings just went all the way to the end.
Yeah, go all the way to the end. It's like
I'm paying for that.
I'm paying for the cheese.
Do you reckon they would ever introduce that? Like a pizza just with like crust,
I've seen
crustless.
this promotion in like the
I feel
90s
like
or something.
Is that a thing, crustless pizza?
I think I've seen it somewhere before.
Yeah.
I know in India, KFC for a while, they would have KFC chicken, and then they would put pizza toppings on the chicken itself. So you eat the chicken like it's the pizza base.
Yeah.
And like
That's very interesting.
It's kind of like a double.
But then that's not a pizza, right?
Yeah.
Or like
It's not a pizza.
pasta toppings without the pasta, it's just like sauce.
Yeah, sauce. Yeah.
Like it's not. Yeah, like pizza. If you just chuck the toppings on it, like the pizza bread, the base is what makes it a pizza.
Yeah, so I think the base is necessary, but the crust is not necessary.
like just the end part.
Look at us talking like food connoisseurs or something. Like that's not how you do
I
it.
have such refined taste, I'm not gonna lie.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm pretty highly rated on the Yelp reviews
The Yelp.
scene. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, they shake and quiver when I walk into
exactly,
restaurant.
right?
They're like, oh my god.
He's here. He's here.
Forget Michelin stars. They just need my Michelin stars.
Yeah.
Like,
It's like MasterChef judge.
Yeah.
That's like us
Yeah.
right here, the
That's right,
panel.
yeah.
We're the three master chefs, yeah. We should actually maybe do like an episode where we like cook for each other. I don't think we're good at cooking.
Ooh, yeah.
I'm keen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen there's like a YouTube channel. I can't remember what it is now, but it's like the one where it's like you have like a girl or like 3 guys cook for her, like a guy and like 3 girls cook for him, and it's like picking your date based on like how they cook a certain dish.
Oh,
Yeah.
cute.
And then it's really interesting how they deconstruct it, because they're like, oh, when they look at the presentation and plating, they're like, oh, this someone has like an eye for detail, or this one's like not very attentive. It's kind of like chucked on the plate, or like flavor. You can tell like if they're a good cook or they're like really new to it.
Yeah.
It's interesting. We should
And,
do
like,
that.
that specific one, I remember like some people would bring like something to go after, so to like help their gut or like to help them with indigestion and things like that. So it's just like, damn bro, people thought about this and like how it's going to be eaten and all of that. And like that was definitely like very interesting. It was like picking a date off of the food that they cook on. Like, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love like cooking related shows, all that stuff though. Like
I used to watch MasterChef like all the time. Yeah. So
you
fun.
know what else though? Hell's Kitchen.
Oh.
Love Gordon Ramsay. What's his other show? Hell's Kitchen and
Kitchen Nightmares.
Kitchen Nightmares.
I love Kitchen Nightmares.
I love
bro.
Kitchen Nightmares. Like
I'm like
I love
never
it.
eating at a restaurant after that though.
Right, it actually makes you think, because I've also worked in like that industry as well, right? And when you see like you really need to like invest in like cleaning and all that, and it has to be on like a daily basis, and maybe not just once a day, it's like multiple times throughout the day, because like if you think about it at home, like if you just have like some crumbs left over or whatnot, like you're gonna get like ants, cockroaches, whatever it is. But yeah, when you like think about that, like hospitality industry,
Scaled up to like a commercial level. It's like
yeah, like the amount of food you're producing, right? Like benches, everything. Like you really gotta be careful.
One thing with Gordon Ramsay on there is like, I really appreciate like how creative he gets with like roasting
insults.
Yeah, you so idiot funny. Sandwich. When you were talking about bread, that's all I was thinking. I was like, idiot sandwich.
Right,
yeah.
No, like one time there was like a pigeon in the kitchen, right? Like a pigeon somehow got in his kitchen, and like he's looking around this kitchen. When he sees this pigeon, he goes, "That pigeon is the freshest thing in this kitchen."
That's so good.
And like, so like he does that so often. I just love how he like thinks of these.
He's a genius. Underrated. Yeah.
I love there was like a YouTube clip I saw, and it was like from, I don't know, I think it was Hell's Kitchen, this one, but like one of the chefs like yelled like some roast at like one of the other like chefs, and then Gordon Ramsay's just standing there like stunned. He's like, respect, like someone who's like also like dishing it out. But I love on YouTube, have you guys seen like it's either Hell's Kitchen or Kitchen Islands or both, whoever's running that account, the caption, like the titles for those videos are so good, like they're golden.
They always get me, like every time on YouTube I see it, like I
can't miss up now.
I got 10 minutes, I'll just watch it. Sure.
Yeah, they're so good.
Yeah,
I love those shows though. There was
one where he went to a hotel and he was like looking, he like swabs
there's like hotel nightmares.
And he like swabs the carpet, right? And he's like, he has like this device where it like tells you how like the bacterial, it's like a standardized score.
Yeah.
What the range that is allowed is like between like 0 and 10 or something is what's allowed, right? And
it used to be higher than 10.
No, I think it was 10.
Oh really? Yeah. And there's like ones that's like 9,000 or 5,000. I was like,
so
crazy.
Like, over 9,000.
He asked like the hotel staff, is like, how clean do you think this place is? And they're like, oh, I think it's probably like a 50, 80. So it's like the limit is 10.
Yeah.
And they
know it's
50,
bad.
80. They know it's bad. And then like he turns the score around and it's like 2,000 or something. Jesus. And I was like, 10 is what's allowed. I'm just like, oh my god, like.
Yeah.
That's probably like one in every like 5-10 places you go to. It's probably like that as well.
Yeah, one every.
Yeah.
But I love him on like when he's cooking with kids. He's so different. He's so adorable.
Oh yeah, he's so nice.
He's a sweetheart.
But
I'm like, what? Yeah.
that's why people always say it's like when on like Hell's Kitchen, Kitchen Nightmares, like he's roasting it's because they're like professionals, or they're supposed to be professionals in the industry, right? They should know what they're doing. Whereas like kids, they're still learning. So I feel like it really makes a lot of sense. And I feel like he's been around long enough that he like doesn't have patience for like someone who says they're a chef and they can't even cook like a simple chicken.
I think at the end of the day, like it is still an act. Like he's playing a character. He knows what gets the views.
Yeah.
And then he knows if he does that to children, even though it will get views, he's probably gonna get chucked in jail as well. So like maybe not the best time.
Yeah.
He's getting cancelled, right?
Yeah. A show you guys should check out though. It's on YouTube. I found it from Kitchen Nightmares, but it's called Bar Rescue. And it's like this guy, I think he's just like really well known in like the bar industry. He's like created a lot of successful bars, but he'll go around and kind of like revamp them. But you also see like so many things, like, you know, in drinks, if you don't correctly seal them stuff, there's like bugs in the drinks and like there's so many like little things that I'd never even noticed. Or it's like how they pour drinks and stuff as well. Like sometimes, cause you know when you go and you taste a drink and you're like, there's barely alcohol in here. Like, you know, someone's obviously under poured or like over poured or like, but yeah, it's really interesting to like see the behind the scenes of it. But OG like food person, Anthony Bourdain, honestly, like so.
Oh, he's a legend, man. Yeah.
He's passed away now, but yeah, really good guy.
He's like, I think the main thing about him is like, he focused so much on like the ties between food and culture. It wasn't just like the food's cool.
Like he'll travel with the food and
like you get like, if you watch an episode of him, you understand the entire culture of the country and like where the food's come from, why they eat like that.
And I really like that because he's is he American?
Yeah, he's
American. But like when he like goes traveling around, like he's really respectful of like other people's like food and cultures as well, and he's really open to trying things. Because you'll like see some people, they're like, oh, like it's a bit if it's not like a standard, you know, chicken, pork, beef. It's not chicken breast. They're like, oh no.
Chicken McNuggets?
Wait, are you saying there's more than salt and pepper on this? Like, ew, what are you doing to me?
Yeah.
Sure, I was just like reminded when you said traveling food thingy. Have you guys watched The Menu?
I love The Menu.
I haven't yet. I've heard of it's really good. I know.
It's really good. Yeah.
It's kind of got spoiled for me.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Like, Janette, are you a fine dining girl? Do you like fine dining?
I do.
Wow. How about
fancy.
you, Dheeraj? Are you a fine dining gal?
I've been a few times. I'm a fine dining gal.
Yeah.
I like to get spoiled. What can I say? My man's coming through, spoiling in
That's
that.
coming through,
Yeah.
He's got the Amex. Like,
Yeah.
Wow, so both of you like fine dining. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like, I don't like fine dining. I don't like a lot of things. Oh my god, no.
That's why we're on this side and you're on that
Bit of
side.
segregation here. Yeah. It's alright.
It's like good taste, bad taste. What
No, wrong way.
You switched it
wrong.
around, but that's alright.
I didn't realize it was opposite day, but
Oh,
alright.
no. Yeah, because like I do not. When I'm going to a restaurant, I'm going there for like the food mainly.
Yeah.
I don't particularly care about being like wowed by service or by plating or by experience. It's like the thing that's supposed to wow me is the food.
Yeah.
And I need to have enough of it to actually enjoy it.
Yeah.
Like my friends and I went to a place by accident that turned out to be fairly fine dining.
Yeah.
And
Drop the name.
it's called Moo Moo.
Ass, bro.
It's so bad.
Oh, Moomie's not fine dining.
Okay, it's not, but it
But
is
it's
like,
exy.
it is exy. It has it's along the same
yeah.
principle. It follows the same portion sizing and
Yeah.
very similar pricing
Oh, yeah.
to more.
I gotta bite my tongue for now. I'll
Yeah,
comment
we'll
after.
wait,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
we'll
say
wait.
It was like we went there and like we got dishes and again this was like it was so expensive per person and it was just 2 dishes, 1 rice dish, 1 lamb dish, and lamb dish came with like 4 tiny ass pieces and the rice was really really good. The rice I like could justify paying like a bit more than usual, but definitely nowhere near the amount that we paid that day. And the lamb, like not even close. I'm not paying that much in my life for lamb again.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was just like completely mediocre. We literally went to McDonald's afterwards, and it was a better meal than Moo Moo. And it was like 5 times the price per person.
Yeah.
Comparing the two things together, and it's like I do not see the value in fine dining at all.
Okay.
You want to rip into them first?
Yeah, come on, rip back, fight back.
Alright, so
Yeah.
I think fine dining. Okay, so what you said about like fine dining, the association that you're paying for the experience, the service, the wow factor, all of that, right? For me, like the fine dining experiences I've had, I feel like the food is still like the staple. Like there's something about like that's the thing because people always comment about like the small portions and whatnot, and I do agree. Like there are some places that the portion size are really small, but on the majority, I don't think that's always the case. Like, I've never had a time I've gone fine dining that I'm like, I'm so hungry afterwards. Like, I have to eat. Like, I'm always full. There's like enough dishes in like the set menu or whatever it is that like I feel satisfied.
So do you think when you go to the set menu, you have the set menu and the experience and all of that, but at the end of the day, it is still 2, 3, 4 times more expensive than if you go K barbecue or if you go to another place where the food is still really really good, and I don't see how the fine dining, even if the food is good and the serving sizes are good, I do not see how that price tag is justified. Like,
so I think that also comes down to like the quality of the food, right? Like, for example, like even if you have K barbecue, there's a reason why there's some K barbecue places that are a lot cheaper and a lot more expensive, right? There's like the quality of the meat. Same with like fine dining food. It's like where they source the food, or it's like, for instance, if you have like truffle, like that is what adds the cost on, right? Even though it doesn't look like a huge portion size. Or it's like, for example, like Kobe beef. Like there's a reason why it's so much more expensive. It could be because of demand, supply, whatever it is.
Again, a lot of these fine dining places aren't serving Kobe beef. Like something like that, where the meat itself is what is bringing the value to the table. I completely agree. I'm more than happy to pay $200 for a little rump steak from like a Wagyu cow that was hand washed by some old Japanese dude.
Just massaging it.
We
went to the onsens and stuff with the cow.
Sang lullabies to this like cow every night. Like I'm more than happy to pay money where the value is coming from the food itself and the quality of the meat. But I don't think the majority of places do that though. I think they just hype it up on the basis that it looks fancy, it feels fancy, you dress fancy.
So I think besides the food part, like the quality of the food, you're also paying for like the expertise. So in terms of the expertise, like there's a difference between like chefs as well. There's like some, like why some restaurants have like Michelin star chefs as well. And it's like the expertise, the training, the methods of preparation for certain foods. I think that all adds into like the craftsmanship, right? It's like when you see a lot of like cake places, right? It's like if you have a sponge cake with like 2 layers of cream versus like say like koi dessert where like the cakes are really like specially made, all of that. Like you're paying as well for like the time it takes to make certain foods, right? So I think it depends, but for me, usually I always like to like look at on a website like the menu first and see like, is this worth what I'm paying for? Because I don't like to go into it blind because I don't want to be like, I've never seen the menu. It could be like, you know,
you get salad for like $700.
Yeah, exactly. So I'll always look and make a judgment of like whether I think it's like value for money or not. Yeah. What about you?
I think more on the lines with you. I think for me as well, I think fine dining is low-key like designer clothing. I think some people will pay $700 for like a simple black shirt without even a logo, just because they know it's made by a designer.
Yeah, the off-white jeans.
Yeah, man's got off-white jeans right now. Like, do you know what I mean? So I think that's in a similar way, so people can justify like that as well. Me personally, I like degustation menus and set menus because I kind of see that as like a chef's vision.
Yeah.
Like I've been to like smaller fine dining restaurants with just one chef. You see him cook it right in front of you, and you see him break down each dish, and you get served one by one. And
or like omakase, right? And it changes, and like you can tell the creative like direction of like.
And then they just really enhance the experience, and then I really value that because just like an art piece at that point. Definitely with like the quality of food, all that, always gonna be top notch. I was telling you guys before that like I have spent exorbitant amounts of money on food before. How
much did you spend at a Michelin star restaurant?
So somewhere around like $450. That's fine.
Per person.
Per person, yeah. Wasn't my proudest moment.
He's balling, by the way. Like.
No, not anymore, unfortunately.
Taking out a loan after that meal, right. Card got declined. Like the lady is like, I tried to swipe it so many times.
Like, sorry, just give me 1 second. I want to get my kidney traded in. Got something from that. That was like with the meat as well. You're talking about the quality. Like that was the first time I had proper A5 Wagyu beef, and I was like, I understand why people are like crazy about this. It's so different to normal beef. I'm like, okay, this is different. This is what I wanted. There were like some other lobster bisques. Like, don't get me wrong, it was like seven courses. 3 or 4 of them, I'm like, I'm not sure about this, but 3 or 4, I was like, this is awesome. So obviously, even with like menus that you like suss beforehand, you don't know until you get there.
Yeah.
But then the experience, like the service, that stuff I still value, and I understand why like, oh, I have to pay like another $150 for this rather than like a normal restaurant.
Yeah.
But like we were talking about like Moomy before, right? And I've been there. Like not to publicly call them out, right? But like
you ain't fine dining, bro. You mid as hell, bro. You're just normal. You're just a rich restaurant.
No, like I don't consider Moomy like fine dining.
Yeah.
It's like on Google, it's like the $2 to $3 sign. It depends like what you're getting from there as well. But I don't think it would really be considered like fine dining.
There's a difference between overpriced dining and fine dining.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I had a similar experience. I had like really high expectations, and I think for me, what didn't justify the price is like a lot of the dishes just strike me as very like simple Asian food that I could get so much cheaper.
Yeah.
Like there was nothing on the plate that like screamed like this is why you're paying more for it. Right? Like I could go to Chat Thai and I could get the similar dish.
Right.
So that's why for me like Moomy just didn't really hit the spot. And I feel like because I always when I go places I always ask the waiter or the waitress, what do you recommend? Because they'll tell you like they know what's popular, what they know what's good. And I chose like 2 of the things that they recommended. They just didn't hit the spot. And as well, one of them, it was just really small portion sizes that I was just like, I'm paying like $10 a piece for this, and it's just not worth it.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like when you said like you're not like satisfied from fine dining food, every fine dining restaurant I've gone to, I've been stuffed afterwards, and I do like food challenges and stuff, so I can eat a decent amount. So then,
I feel like for me as well, I feel like I've eaten around enough. Like obviously, love being a foodie, love eating. I feel like I've eaten at enough different places that when I go look at a menu now, I know what to look for, or I know what the value of things should be like. So if I see like a seared salmon for like a certain price, I'll know if it's like overpriced, it's worth the money or whatnot. Or a lot of times like I will like order foods that I can't make myself at home, or I know puts more effort into preparation. It's like slow cooked, like 3 hour like lamb rump, something.
Beef cheeks or something.
Yeah, like that's something that you know like that has value in it. So
I don't know.
Yeah.
What are our audience's thoughts? What do you guys think about fine dining? Do you think its value is justified, or do you think you're on my side where I don't quite see it? Like, I think in certain scenarios, yes, there is like definitely value in it,
like you said, where there is art and creativity behind it. Like omakase, I think is something where I'd be more than happy to pay for it because it is the chef's skill, and you are going there to watch them do it and for that experience. But yeah, in a lot of ways, I might be thinking of overpriced dining as opposed to fine dining. Yeah, it would be great to hear your thoughts. And
once again,
give us your food recommendations.
What pasta should I try if I need to?
Where should we take Niru for like pasta spots?
We
you
will
know, everything.
force feed him pasta.
Yeah.
Shove it down his throat. So
So thank you all for joining us on this episode, the very first episode of 3 Ps in a podcast. And as Dheeraj just mentioned, if you do have any food spots or any pasta recommendations, food recommendations, if you're watching this on YouTube, be sure to leave that in the comment section. Also, on our latest Instagram post, feel free to drop the emoji of a pasta and a pizza to show us that you have listened and got this far into the episode. So
which I rate. Good on you for getting this far.
Dheeraj will personally like your comment if you do that.
I will also come to your house and give you a hug.
For each pasta emoji is another pasta that pasta bite that Niru will take.
We're just shoving it in his mouth. Yeah, we'll record each bite.
Yeah. Now, if you hate our faces, you can watch us. You can listen to us on Spotify, and you can also catch us on Apple Podcasts or whichever podcasting platform that you follow us on. Also, feel free to subscribe to our highlights channel, where we just have smaller clips of the full episode if you don't have time to watch the entire thing. Also, feel free to follow us on TikTok. We'll be posting even shorter forms of content there with just the spiciest moments where Janette maybe gets angry at my food take. And also feel free to share any memes or edits that you have of us on our subreddit. Everything that I just mentioned will be up on screen as well as down in the description below wherever you're watching this and or listening to us. Awesome. You guys hungry? I'm kind of hungry.
Yeah, let's go eat.
Let's wrap it up.
Let's wrap it up. Funny. So funny. Okay. Yeah. Thanks, guys. See ya.
Bye.